have an apron on. My mom's apron. It's because we're baking today, people. Today we are going to be making cookies. But they're not just any cookies, okay? They are cookies inspired by the hit TV show and cult classic TV show that we all know and love, Gilmore Girls. So if you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. I love Gilmore Girls. If you aren't new to my channel, you probably would already know that because I have several Gilmore Girls themed videos out already. And I thought a fun video idea would be to make cookies inspired by Gilmore Girls. And so today I'm just going to be making some like coffee crumble cookies type things. Like I think they have a nice streusel on top. And so I thought that I would invite you guys to bake the cookies along with me. I guess just enjoy this video. So, first thing I want to say is that this is not my recipe. I found a recipe online that I will be following, and I will attach the link to the recipe in the caption in the description box of this video. So if you guys want to follow this exact recipe with me, you guys can go ahead and do that. Let me read off the ingredients. So we need a half cup of butter softened, half cup vegetable oil, 1 cup brown sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 2 teaspoons cinnamon, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 1/4 cups flour. So that's for the cookie dough itself. For the streusel, I need 1/4 cup of butter, softened, a lot of butter, 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1/3 to half a cup flour, half a teaspoon cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. No more, no less, people. 1 pinch. I am gonna go ahead and grab the ingredients, and then I guess we'll just start baking. So come along. Also, no, I've filmed before in my kitchen, probably a lot actually, but this might be a new view of the kitchen. Okay, so I have, I think, all the ingredients. And I wanted to point out that instead of using just regular old milk, I'm using oat milk. I'm also going to be using vegan butter. It's just country crock. I could have said something else. No, never mind. Instead of vegetable oil, I will be using coconut oil because oil freaks me out a little bit. Coconut oil, for some reason, makes me feel better. And finally, instead of brown sugar, I'm using coconut sugar because apparently we don't have brown sugar. If you didn't know, if you have not used coconut sugar before, it's a really, really good brown sugar substitute. To me, it tastes almost the exact same, and it's the same consistency, like how brown sugar packs together really well. Coconut sugar does the same. Let's get started. Alrighty, so the first step, the instructions. To make the dough, combine the butter, oil, and dark brown sugar. Dark brown sugar. So, I bake a lot. And normally when I bake, I just use like a spoon to mix. I don't know why, but using like a mixer, I have the stuff. It just scares me a little bit sometimes. Because I'm making this video and I want to come across as like really, a really seasoned baker, I'm gonna use this. And I made cookies yesterday and used it, and it was a little crazy, but it's okay. So I'm gonna, as I start working on the dough, let's just chat a little bit, right? We're baking together. It's basically like I'm hosting a baking class and you're following me because I'm the head baker. I don't think I explained it, but I'm making these like coffee cookies because Rory and Lorelai love coffee. If you have never watched Gilmore Girls, that's like the one thing I'll tell you, is that it's a show. It's a show for coffee lovers, okay? Rory and Lorelai both really love coffee, and so I figured, hey, let me make coffee cookies. This recipe is devoted to Gilmore Girls. Like, it's a Gilmore Girls recipe. It's inspired by the show. In my last video, I kind of got like serious for a second, and I was talking about how I feel over the past few months I've gone through some struggles that I haven't really dealt with before, and insecurities and just things that I never really thought I would deal with in my life, if that makes sense. In my video, I also talked a little bit about how I think an important part of getting better and feeling a little bit more back to yourself is identifying the things in your life that really make you happy and doing those things a lot. For me, I love to bake. I've always loved to bake, but I think that some of my struggles have stopped me from baking. So with that, I wanted to tell you guys that I made an Instagram called Flavor with Trinity Taylor, where I want to share a little bit more about the food I make, the workouts that I'm doing, but I'm also gonna post just updates like on me, things I feel like posting, of course movie and TV content as well. But I just wanted to make something where I could be, one, more active, but two, just incorporate kind of all the things that really make me happy and motivate me in my life, like just into one hub of information. And so I want to invite you guys to follow that Instagram. I've never really plugged my social media before because Instagram is really the only thing I'm super active on. Yeah, so I'm gonna put my Instagram here, and if you guys want to follow me, feel free to. And also, if you ever, for some reason, feel like you need to reach me, Instagram is probably a really good place because I don't always read my YouTube comments. Time to mix. I'm gonna find another way to do this. I have now mixed and mixed and mixed until I can't mix no more. And I've ended up with like this nice consistency of butter, sugar, and coconut oil. And I'm not gonna lie, it smells really good. Butter smells good. I'll be the one to say it. Okay, so I've mixed until smooth. The next instruction is to add the egg and vanilla and mix again. But yeah, anyways, that Instagram is kind of gonna be a place where I can explore this side of myself a little bit more, and I think it's gonna help me a lot. This video, I guess, also has the goal of introducing that aspect of my life, because for the most part, my videos are either just like random vlogs or movie and TV related content, and so I want to try incorporating like this side of myself to YouTube as well. So yeah, I've added the egg. The next step is I just have to add in the remaining ingredients. So first, cinnamon. I love cinnamon, so I just put a lot in, okay? You guys are probably like, Trinity, why aren't you following the exact measurements? I'm sorry, but I don't. I used to, and then I started baking so much for a while that I felt like I was getting really good at, what am I trying to say? I feel pretty confident as a baker, and so I don't feel the need to always measure things out. Now, things like flour, I measure that out. But when I have to put in like a half a teaspoon of baking powder, I know that if I just go, that's good. Now it is time to add in the flour. So I need 2 1/4 cup. I'm gonna add the flour in pretty slowly just because I don't want everything to go everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of the flour in, and then once that is done and it's time to make the streusel, I'll talk to you again. Okay, so I just made the dough and I made a really big mess. Cleaned it up though, and sorry if there's some background noise now, but I needed to turn the oven on. Now it's time to make the streusel. The streusel goes in like a little indent in the middle of the cookie, and it looks really cool. First, you start with about 1/3 cup of flour. I'm not gonna add too much cinnamon to the streusel just because I added so much to the dough. But you see, that's what I'm talking about. Things always work out. Like if you mess up a measurement, it is not the end of the world, babes. It is not the end of the world. Also, I don't think I mentioned it, but wash your hands before you bake. I don't know what you were touching last, and you don't know what I was touching last, and you don't want to know. Okay, so I'm just stirring up the streusel right now, and then when I'm done with the streusel, we're gonna assemble the cookies and bake them. I've finished the dough and the streusel, and so it's time to scoop. So the dough is really, really crumbly, and I'm a little concerned, but I think that it'll stick together. I don't know. First thing, the cookies, like the dough is, I think, a little bit too crumbly. I might have put too much flour in, or maybe I mixed it too much. but it's really crumbly, and so part of me is thinking when they cook, they're not even gonna really stick together. Keep that in mind if you follow this recipe. But I'm gonna go ahead and bake this batch, and we will see how they turn out. I'm waiting for the cookies now. See, the funny thing is, this recipe, I initially thought that they were actually gonna have like cold brew in them or something. And I realized just as I was putting in that they don't actually contain any coffee. So I guess maybe it's more like cookies that would go well with coffee. All I know is that if I take the pan out of the oven and those cookies have completely fallen apart, I'm going to cry. I will be angry. I'm gonna feel like a big fat fool. I was also thinking, would Lorelai and Rory really eat these cookies? I think that they would, but only if they were being served at an event. Because let's be real, Lorelai and Rory, when they're at home, they're basically eating tacos. We know that they love tacos, Pop-Tarts, you know, like popcorn, candy. I don't know, I just feel like unless Suki gave them the cookies, like these would not be cookies that they're making because they don't bake. But if they were at an event and they were served this cookie, you know, they were like, oh, they were told, oh, these cookies go really well with coffee. I think that they would try them, you know, or if Suki was making them, maybe as like a dessert that could be served as a wedding, and Lorelai tried them and then she was like, whoa, these are amazing, I want more of them. Yeah, they're definitely inspired by the essence of Gilmore Girls, but I will say part of the essence of Gilmore Girls is kind of being lazy when it comes to your food, and this wasn't lazy to me. I just took the cookies out of the oven. As you can tell, I have taken the apron off and I have put on my wolf sweater. It's a symbol of my accepting defeat. This is a complete it's me not you situation. I think that this recipe is really good. And I mean, the girl that made it, she's a TikTok showing herself making it, and the cookies looked freaking bomb, which is why I wanted to make them. But mine just don't look like that. Considering that I am normally, I'm a good baker. Like, I make good baked goods. I think the issue here is that I substituted some of the ingredients. And you know what? My dad has warned me about this before. I think my mom too. And I did not listen. Listen, they still look good. The glaze I made, and it looks absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't know if I'm even gonna put it on. I think I'm gonna choose the smallest cookie or the one that looks the worst and see how it looks. The glaze just does not look the same. And yeah, it's not a complete fail because, I mean, they're cookies, but they're super duper crumbly, and I don't think that they're supposed to be like that. But I don't know. Anyways, let me just show you. Let me try and pick one up. This is what the cookies look like. They really don't look that bad. Like, it still looks good, but they just don't look how I thought they were going to. I'm transferring them to the cooling rack. Say what you want about me using my hands. I literally don't care. These are for my family. Like, they probably aren't even gonna eat them. So yeah, I'm gonna use my hands and not a spatula. I really don't feel like washing an extra dish. Thanks a lot. Okay, well, I might as well try one. It tastes really good, but it's not super duper flavorful. Okay, it is, but at the same time, I have a major sweet tooth, so I like my cookies to be super duper sweet. The streusel's really good and gives it a really nice crunch. I love how I was just saying that they are a complete failure to now I'm like, the streusel gives the cookie a really nice texture. But it does. It has a nice crunch. I like that I made the cookies really big because it's like a really nice warm hug, it feels like. These would be really good with coffee, and I think that's why maybe they have a somewhat neutral flavor. Everyone, this is your sign to go make some cookies. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first time making a video like this, so bear with me. But if you did enjoy it, let me know. If you have other like baking video requests or ideas, let me know in the comments down below. Again, follow my Instagram, Flavor with Trinity Taylor. I'm gonna be posting quite a bit on there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.
Sweet baby Riz. Baby Riz. Sweet baby Riz. baby raised. Baby raised.